I'm Lisa. I'm the Volunteer Development Manager, so I work 4 days a week and I'm responsible for the recruitment and overseeing the management of and the retention of about 130 odd volunteers and matching people up to different services. Volunteers are really at the heart of what we do. You know, as a collective, all of our staff and volunteers genuinely want to help and really I believe that all of our staff and volunteers have our values, you know, at the heart of everything that they do. So in terms of finding volunteers, because we sort of work within 3 main cohorts, which is we have a focus on helping children and young people, family work and helping adults, and there's a lot of different ways that people can be involved. So the great thing is anybody, you know, from different walks of life, any age, as long as they're over 18 pretty much, are suitable for volunteering. So from, we might have students in particular that might be doing degrees in criminology or psychology, for example, that really come along and get involved in helping our work that we do with ex-offenders within our housing team, or they volunteer within the appropriate adult service. And what's really fantastic about that is watching them grow and develop. So while they're gaining experience, they're also giving their time, they're developing. We've recently actually just employed another one of our students. We've employed a couple in the last year, students that have volunteered with us, and another one, I'm really proud to say, of our students that's been volunteering with us for over a year now. She's actually been accepted onto a Masters in Custodial Care based on a lot of the experience that she had with Anglia Care Trust with us here. And they're just such an integral part of the team. And from those to people that maybe you know, have had children leaving home, or maybe young children that are just going to school, mums and dads, you know, or people that are in between careers that are looking to gain new skills. Again, you know, they come to us and maybe not even know initially what they actually want to be involved with. And the great thing about that is we have so many different services that they can start to go through the training and get a taste for what really inspires them, you know. And we can continue to build and offer, because we do such a comprehensive training package, that they, you know, they can continue to build those skills. And often it's really lovely to see if they don't go into employment with us, a lot of them end up going into further employment based on experience that they've got, or just generally just love the fact that they don't want to necessarily, or are not in a position to be able to work, but enjoy having something different from being at home with the kids. We have many retired people, in particular retired professionals whose skills and experience in the team is just absolutely invaluable. It's absolutely fantastic. I've got one lady who is a retired health visitor. She was like a safeguarding lead at Ipswich Hospital for many years. She's amazing. Her experience is just brilliant and exactly what we need, and her values and her ethics. And what she brings to the role is, when we interviewed her initially actually for our appropriate adult service, and we just had a new service developing which was family mentoring, and we just realised that she would be an absolutely ideal fit for that as well. And she's actually gone on to help us develop that service in terms of some of the work that she's doing with families and things like that, and having that experience has been able to feed back to us what else we might need to support other volunteers that are joining that service as well. So that's been fantastic. Amongst our appropriate adult service, we have many retired professionals and professionals actually that just give their time and bring their skills and experience. So you know, I have quite a few retired people that say I'd be bored if I just sat at home. I need to be doing something with my brain, and I need to be utilising the skills and learning new things. So they might have maybe some experience in social services, but we'll use that experience, but we'll still learn things around our appropriate adult training, or when they come on our drug awareness training or mental health awareness training, we'll still continue to have that learning and development, which is just lovely. I've got some volunteers that all of my volunteers I feel really proud of, and there are some that really inspire me to kind of get out of bed in the morning. I think, wow, you guys just love what you do and you just keep giving back, and their energy and their enthusiasm is brilliant. gosh, there's so many ways really that people can be involved. So one of those is our children and young people's services. So we have, for example, if you're an independent visitor volunteer, what that means is that basically a young person that's either in a foster placement or a children's home, under legislation they're entitled to have an independent visitor. So we run that service. So what that means is we have a volunteer that wants to do that role, and we match them up with a young person that's in the care system, that's in looked after care, and we try and match them according to their skills and their their likes and interests and things. And basically the role that has is that volunteer then sees that young person on a monthly basis and goes out, has fun with them, does the role that normally a granddad or grandparent or maybe an aunt and uncle would do with that child. And I've seen some amazing relationships develop. You know, we have one gentleman he's a retired barrister actually, and he has got a lot to give back, and he goes and volunteers out in Africa a couple of months a year. And actually what he does is he's now working with a young lad within the local area to where he lives, and I think the young lad's about 8 or 9, and they've just done some amazing work in terms of my volunteer being a really positive male role model. They're doing really fun stuff as well, and quite different stuff. The lad's into cars and planes, and Tony himself flies planes. So that's my volunteer, and just seeing that relationship develop and the young person come out of themselves and have something to look forward to. You know, for these young people that are in care, that their social worker is paid, the children's home workers are paid, the foster parents are paid. To know that volunteer turns up every month because they want to be there and they want to just come and have fun and develop that relationship with that child, it means the world to that young person. And that's the difference that it makes, is that role modelling, and is showing them that people aren't just there because they're paid to be there, you know. Also, so say within our housing services as well, we have volunteers, and our volunteers can assist and support somebody that's coming out of perhaps quite a long-term prison sentence, that's new to the area, that doesn't know anyone in the community, and I've seen volunteers time and time again help them to stabilise in a shared accommodation, help them find, you know, like appointments, doctors, dentists, you know, the things that we generally take for granted. We've had service users that have actually left prison, and before the days of mobile phones, or certainly before the days of smartphones, you know, and volunteers are sort of helping them, getting them on computer courses, helping them to understand technology today as it is and how that can help them with getting jobs and basically even being stable in their accommodation, and just that kindness really to know that people are there for that support. But most of all, we are really massive at ACT about empowerment. So, and I really feel that carries through to our volunteers. So rather than fostering a dependency, we're empowering in, you know, all of our service users. For the young person that's detained in questioning at the local police investigation centre, for someone independent that's not the police to show up when that person might, you know, on the surface be seeming like they're, you know, having a bit of bravado. Inside, often they're feeling absolutely terrified, and you know, they're not maybe got good experiences with authority figures as it is. Could be having a variety of issues at home or in the community, and that appropriate adult volunteer that shows up and just chats to them before, that they know is on their side, that they know is there to look after them and their well-being, particularly during police interview and other processes, is just a massive thing for that person to know that they're not just vulnerable there, you know, in the police station.